Have you ever wanted to impress your family and friends with a gourmet dinner party, but your cooking skills are just not up to par? Well, instead of turning to takeout, turn to the Food is Love Club by Truffle Shuffle. Joining us now is their co-founder and CEO, Chef Jason McKinney. Chef Jason, thank you so much for joining me on Live in the Bay.
Thank you so much for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah, let's talk about Truffle Shuffle. Who are you and how did it get started?
Yeah, so super simple way to explain it is I'm a chef working at the French Laundry. I met my business partner, Tyler, and my wife, Sarah. And then when we left, we started a truffle business because we wanted to teach ourselves business and started growing that. And when the pandemic hit, we found ourselves with 20 pounds of truffles, nowhere to sell them, and launched a black truffle risotto cooking class, and it just blew up from there. And we went from doing one class a week to literally doing like 30 to 40 classes a week, brought new chefs onto the platform, and now we're taking that and spinning it out into its own brand. And basically we built this culinary live stream platform and marketplace that allows someone, just like you said, to hit a button and become a master chef in their own home.
Wow, that's so cool that you can do that literally from your own home. How have these classes evolved since first starting up until now?
Well, the first class, basically we spent the entire time explaining to people how Zoom works. And
hey, we all need that, right? During the pandemic.
We also had no clue how Zoom worked, so that was pretty interesting. But
learning curve.
Yeah. But what happened is by the time we got to the end of it, everyone had all these beautiful dishes put together, right? Dishes that we would make working at spots like the French Laundry, and they're just smiles, right? People were just happy. It was a really difficult time. And so we knew we had something. We just really leaned into it, and we just kept trying to figure out, what do people want? What do they want to cook, right? And how can we make it where you can literally go home and say, hey, I would love to make truffle risotto, learn how to make fresh pasta, right? And be able to do that. And what's really cool is it's an experience, right? So it's not just, okay, let me get through this recipe real quick. This is you and your husband, everyone's hanging out. We have these little segments that we call Who Let the Dogs Out? Or it's like if someone holds their dog up. I know you got 2 Great Danes, right?
Yeah, I sure do.
We play Who Let the Dogs Out, and we'll have hundreds of people just shaking their dogs at the camera.
I love that. I had to resist the urge to sing the song, because as soon as you said it, I played it in my head, but, you know.
Every time my dog hears it, she runs away now. She knows the drill.
She knows the drill.
Yeah.
Well, what are some of the dishes that people can expect to learn to create from these classes?
So with the Food is Love Club, what's really cool is we built the tools for chefs to go on and launch their classes. So initially it was me, Tyler, Sarah, right, and then chefs would kind of do our dishes, but now we're able to get some pretty incredible chefs on. One chef, Anna. She's a Ukrainian chef. She's got a cookbook coming out called Budmo. And so she's teaching Ukrainian dishes, right, where you can learn to make these at home. And then all the proceeds go to help support the efforts in Ukraine.
And why was it important for you guys to create this initiative, the Food is Love Club?
So it's got kind of a funny name, but the name came about because when we talked to people, right, they would say that the #1 recipes they cook were all these ones that we had sent in the boxes, right? And the #1 thing that I heard from people is that they love food, that food is their love language, right? And so it was really important to us to be able to do this, to be able to bring people together. We've all been dealing with so much in the past couple of years, right? I believe they just announced we're officially in a recession. I'm not 100% sure, but I thought I saw that.
Yeah.
And so from the pandemic to now this, and you know, it's gonna be really important for people to know how to make their dollar go further. Right? And what we're able to do is take people and they can shop on their own ingredients, make these dishes, and it's really an experience, right? I don't want to say it's replacing a restaurant, right? But it's able to have a bonding experience with your loved ones at home.
Well, something I noticed, you keep using the word experience. So it sounds like Truffle Shuffle, Food is Love Company, it's all about bringing that experience into the home. Why are experiences so important when it comes to food?
So it's the heart of it, right? You want to be able to make a dish, have an incredible dish, but have that memory associated with it. And I think some of the best moments in life come around food. And it's really special what you can make happen, right? So we have different nonprofits that actually go on and host these experiences to raise money for their nonprofits, right? We do team building events with companies to help bring them together. But one of the parts of it that I'm most excited about and what really means the most to me is the fact that we donate a meal for every single ingredient kit or every member that we have on the platform, right? And so for myself growing up, I hit a moment where food had the opposite of a memorable or like an enjoyable experience, because we went in 2008, my dad had a business, literally lost everything, right? A little too far ahead of himself, all of his loans got called. And we found ourselves as a family not knowing where our next meal was coming from.
Wow, so it hits home.
100%.
Wow.
And so I started working and, really remember what it was like coming home, having kind of little food. And one day I got a call from my mom, and she said her entire car was filled with food, a donation of food from someone that had kind of heard about her situation. And just, there's no attachments, just complete gift. And I was 17, and I remember at that time just saying, I want to figure out a way to make sure that I can give back.
Well, how can people also help give back to Food is Love Club? And you also have a special offer today, correct?
Yeah. So we wanted to throw a crazy offer out there. So last year we were able to donate 100,000 meals with our partnership with the Alameda County Community Food Bank. This year we're on track for about 200,000. Next year we're trying to hit 1 million.
That's a big goal, and I know you guys are going to reach it.
Yeah, well, we would love to gift you a membership to start out, right? And then
Wonderful, thank you.
For anyone that signs up and tells us that they're from Cron 4, the first person, okay, is going to get, we're actually doing a cruise through France next year, so we're going to get a VIP cabin on that. And then the next 10 are going to get a dinner with Chef Jackson of Omakase. And then the next 100 are going to get a special kit for a class that we got coming up.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. So they can all find this information on the website, correct?
Yep.
And can you tell us one more time, remind us of the website?
Yeah, so foodisloveclub.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Chef Jason, for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much, Olivia.
To join in on the fun, you can head to foodisloveclub.com, and we'll also have a link on our website.